Hey, namaskar guys, welcome back to another episode of Golang series. So in this video we are gonna learn if-else statement in Golang. So this video is going to be very short and easy as well. You just need to stay and watch this video focusedly so that you can understand it at a glance. So let's create our new folder called day7 and drag and drop this folder in our storyboard of VS Code. Now we need to initialize our Golang project. To initialize it, we need to run the following command as usual: go mod init, and followed by this command we need to also mention the package name. So in this case I'm going to name it as conditional statement. So if-else statement is also known as conditional statements in programming languages. So now as you can see, a go.mod file is visible in our root directory, where we also need to create another main.go file. So let's create it real fast. Okay, now we need to import our main package. Then we also need to create the main function. So it is the bare minimum thing to start up a Golang project. Now let's see what we can do with statements. So now we need to create a variable called a, and it will be populated by a value 1, which is an integer. And now we need to make a condition to run certain code based on that statement or condition. Okay, so I want to make a condition and a statement where if the value of a is 2, then it will then it will print out something. Okay, so if a is equal to, then it will print out hey, my value is a. So now if we run the code, then it won't show us anything because the value of a is on, and we are trying to match and run the following code ons. The a is equal to 2, but in this case the value of a is on and we are trying to match it with 2, which is not true. It actually returning us the value of this statement as false, so we cannot run this, right? It will not get inside this block to see further what need to execute. It will pass this code and go forward, and in this case there is nothing to show anymore. So let's change the value to 2. So now the value of a is 2 and we are trying to match a is equal to. So the value of a is 2 and we are trying to match it with 2, so it is going to return true. So now as it is true, then it will watch inside the block and execute the following code. Now if you run the code again, then you will see it. So this is very simple. And there another thing that there is no. Okay, this exclamatory equal to means not equal to. So if a is not equal to 2, then run this. But they are equal actually. The value of a is 2 and it is actually trying to uh, give us a statement that it is actually expecting a statement that is asking for the value of a should not be matched with 2. But in this case the value of a is 2 and it is matching with 2. That's why it will not work and pass this entire code and won't show anything. See, that is really confusing, but you need to understand it by watching this video again and again. So that was one of the statements that we can use. Now we have another statement. If we have another statement called else. So if this is not working, then it should have another thing. So this is the default thing. If this is not true, then this should execute. This block of code should execute. So let's make a message real quick. Hey, hey, I'm in else block. So now what it will run after running the code, it will show us this particular code in our terminal as a is equal to 2 and we are expecting a should not be equal to 2. So if you change this value to 10, now this a is not equal to 2, which is true. Now it will run and print out this particular code instead of the code which we placed in else block. See, now this thing is printing in our terminal. I hope you understand. Now we can also nest the loops with another thing. For example, we have else if a is equal 10, then we can also do another thing. So now when it will check first, if the a is not equal to 2, then print it. If it is not true, then move on for next statement, where our next statement is if the a is equal 10, then it will do another work. For this case, we are going to see that I am in else if block. That's pretty good. Now if you are here, then you will see that you need to guess which code will run, because there are two statements that can be true and it is printing the first one because the statement already matched, so it does not need to move forward for checking it again. So let's go and change it. So now it's expecting a should not be equal to 20. Okay, a should not be equal to 10. Fine. So if this a should not be equal to 10, then and the value of a is 10, so it is going to return false because it's not expecting these both are going to be same, so it's not going to work. It will move forward and watch for our next statement, which is a should be equal to 10. In this case, the value of a is 10 and we are expecting to match this a with 10. These both are the same value, so now it will run. So here you can see this value is run. So that is how if else works in Golang. Let's go and create something really nice. Let's make a email. The variable will take a email s@s.com and a password as well, 1234. Now let's check with AND operator. There is an AND operator, which means there will be two statements together and both need to be true. So if the email is not nil, it means the email should not be empty. Empty means without anything, and the password as a password, and the password also should not be nil. So now nil, okay, not nil, it should not be empty, okay, that's how it will work. Now if they are empty, then it will print out something called email and password are required. So this is the AND operator. It means this email should not be equal to empty string, and the password also should not be empty. But here the email is empty and the password is not empty, so what it will return? It will return nothing, because one of them is not empty, which is here. So how we can handle it? We can handle it by using OR operator. It means if one of these is null, then it will return it. Okay, let's say email is empty and it is expecting the email should not be empty, but the password is not empty, and the second statement is password also should not be empty, but it has a value, so it's false, and this is true. This is going to be true. So now it will return this code. Email and password are required, because one of these are nil. Well, so now let's go and see another example with AND operator. Let's say s@s.com, and we're going to nest it here. Else, if we pass this statement, then it will go here, and now we will see if the email is equal p@p.com, then it will run fmt.println email is correct and trying to match the password now. And if it is done, then let's come here. If we are now nesting the if else, okay, if once the password is true matched, then we need to check the password. If the email is matched, then we need to check the password again. If the password is equal to 1234, then it should print out login successful. Login successful. And else if the password is not successful, then it will come here in else and it will print out the error message with invalid password. And here at the level of matching the statement of email, if it is not matched, then it's going to execute the following code and print out invalid email. Now what it will return, let's check it first. We have a email which is s@s.com and the password 1234. The first statement is here. Let's collapse it. The first statement is expecting that email should not be empty and the password or both of them should, if there is any null value, whether it is email or password, if any one is nil or empty, then it will execute it and won't go for this code, else code. If the email has a value and the password also has a value, then it will come here. It won't run this code, it will come here to check further codes. So in this code, now it will expect the email that is here, the value is s@s.com. This should be matched with p@p.com, which is in this case false, because s@s.com is not equal to p@p.com. So it's not as it's not true, then it will return false, and as it's returning false, then this piece of code won't work. It will throw the Golang to execute the else block code of this statement. So it will give us information that invalid email address, as this email is not matching with the p@p.com. Then let's have a look here. Email and password are required, but both are here. It should be nil, right? This. Now it will work. Invalid email address. So it means this should not be empty and this should not be empty. This is the not operator, okay? This is the not operator. But we can also do it by this. If this is null and if this is null, if one of this is null, then it will return true and execute this following code. Now let's come here and change this to p@p.com. So in this case, both the fields values are filled with some value. So here it's not going to make it true, so it won't work. It will start working from here. Now when the first statement of else block, it will expect the email should be equal to p@p.com, which is true. Now this will print and this won't work because it's true now, and this thing will print out, then this will start working. After the true statement making the value and the statement true, that email is equal to p@p.com, it will execute this code, show this code, and run the following code again. the first statement is the password should be equal to 1234, and here we can see that the password is already 1234, so it will match and run this thing. And as it's matching, then this else block won't work. So let's have a look here. So it will say login successful, but if you enter something wrong, that 12344, and now this password will not match with this 1234, so now it's not going to work and this block of code will work. So in this case it will give us invalid password. Here you can say invalid password. So I hope you understand what is if-else statement in Golang. I have tried to my best to show you this if-else conditional statements in Golang. So if this video gives you a little bit of value, then please do subscribe this YouTube channel, and do not forget to hit the share and like button. And if you have any doubts in your mind, then feel free to comment down below. Thank you. Goodbye. Good night. Namaskar.